Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Rants Show. Now, just a quick warning, this episode is not for the faint of heart. If you are not committed, if you are not passionate, I'm going to ask you to leave, please. I'm going to ask you to leave. Ants are shit. Ants suck. They suck. They're the worst creature, and they suck. Now, science has been too kind to ants. We give them too much credit when we should give them no credit at all because they're stupid little bugs and they don't matter. They don't matter. Now, what I'm talking about is there's a lot of glaze for ants out there. There's a lot of glaze for ants. Oh, ants can pick up things much, much bigger than them. Oh, ants work in these beautiful colonies and they make all these impressive structures in the sand. Ants are also dumb as shit. Did you know that? Ants are dumb as shit. Okay? Now, if you're a psychopath like me, you've killed a few ants in your time. You've killed a few ants. Now, there's many ways to kill ants. And I'm not talking about like traditional methods here, by the way. I'm not talking about like ant spray or like ant traps. I'm talking about like, stuff that would shake the Geneva Convention to its core. Now, this is going to come as a surprise to some of you, but me personally, I haven't done these things, but I'm sure you've heard of these things. The main one being like the magnifying glass, where you hold the magnifying glass up and like the sun like lasers the ants and it like fries them instantly. So me personally, I've never done that before, but I've witnessed it. And listen, everyone. I'm not condoning ant murder, but they do fry. They fry. I mean, those guys fry. They fry instantly. It's insane. Have you ever seen the videos of like people putting like frozen turkeys in like the boiling oil? How it just like immediately explodes? Now imagine that, but no liquid. But like that same like pressure, that heat, just. And my problem with ants is when you put the magnifying glass and you start lasering the ants are all walking in a line and they just don't stop. They don't stop walking in the line. So imagine you're back in school and it's a fire drill, okay? It's a fire drill. The fire drill just went off. You get out of your seat. Teacher tells you to get single file. So you get single file. You start walking out the building. Now imagine you're walking single file. You have a person in front of you. You have a person behind you. And you see the person in front of you, like 5 people up. The person 5 people in front of you just get vaporized instantly. Instantly. Just vaporized. They're there, they're talking to the person behind them, gone. Gone. Instantly. And then the person 4 people up also just vaporized instantly. And you're still walking. Third person, gone. Boom, gone. Second person, gone. The person right in front of you turns around to say something to you. And before they can open their mouth, boom, vaporized instantly. Now, you as a rational human being, do you keep walking forward? No, you don't. Now, I want you to take this exact same scenario, but imagine you're a stupid ant. You do keep walking forward, and you get vaporized, along with the person behind you, along with all the other ants behind them. Ants can't comprehend what it means to get vaporized. And as such, they will never stop getting vaporized. Kids around the world are united, not in language, not in thought, but in the concept of vaporizing ants. And the ants will never adapt because there's no survivors to tell the tale. You understand? The only reason ants still exist is because kids grow up if kids remained kids forever, there would be no ants in the world. Now, that's bad. Vaporizing ants is bad. But there have been tales of worse punishment. I shouldn't say punishment because the ants literally have done nothing wrong except existing, which could be considered wrong if you are a 12-year-old with too much free time. But there's a method of taking army men, like the plastic army toy soldiers, and melting them over the anthill, like liquefying the plastic so the plastic runs down into the anthill and traps all the ants inside. So, how do I break this down? Liquefying your toys to kill innocent creatures. Probably not the best look, but let's talk logistics here. You would think after that happens, the ants would maybe make 2 entrances or 3 or more than 1, but they don't. So the survivors burrow out. Many of them have died. Many of them are too afraid to leave the what do you call it, an anthill and just die of starvation. But the ants continue on. They go make another anthill, and when they build their next anthill, they make 1 entrance again. Okay, that's a problem. But maybe the 12-year-old isn't in this area. Oh wait, never mind. They move the anthill 2 feet to the left. So a couple days later, when little Tommy comes out, and he just stopped by Walmart and got more toy soldiers, the ants just go through the same thing again. Like I said, ants would not exist if kids didn't grow up. If kids stayed kids forever, ants would be extinct. Because kids have magnifying glasses, they have fireworks, they have toy soldiers. You put a little boy in a room with ants and some heat source, and he will figure out a new way to kill the ants. You can put him in a room with anything, any one object, and he will figure out a way to use that one object to kill, maim, and destroy ants. It's like human beings have been killing predators for so long, now we have to kill the thing that doesn't bother us at all, such as ants. You know, there are no more lions for us to practice our killing skills on. But there's tons of ants. You go outside, you'll find ants right away. So if you're a little monster, you don't need to hunt leopards. You don't need to risk your neck to get your fix, your killing fix. You can practice your maiming and ingenuity on helpless little ants. But I don't really care because ants suck. I don't care. They're everywhere. They're small. They serve no purpose. They suck. You know? You drop something sugary on the sidewalk, 10,000 ants are there the next day. We don't really need them. Now, I'm not condoning ant murder, but I'm not condoning it, if that makes sense. Meaning if I see little Tommy playing in his front yard with toy soldiers or sticking Roman candles down the anthill, I'm not going to say anything to him. Or rather, I should say, I'm not going to say anything negative to him. If anything, I'd probably encourage him to, go to the next step. Diesel fuel, M80s, military grade explosives. And, those Tommies of society eventually go on to become hopefully functioning members, but they're always branded an ant genocide, an ant, like they are responsible for ant genocide. But it's not something that's really punished in our society. So who cares? I don't. So think about that. And hey, comment what your favorite method of killing ants is. And if you're an ant lover, like I said, take this video with a grain of salt. Different strokes for different folks, people. Some of us like ant murder. Okay? So I appreciate you listening to this rant. This horrible rant. This is probably the worst episode I've made so far, but it won't be the worst. It won't be the worst. Ant murder is just the beginning, folks. And subscribe if you want to hear more about it, I guess. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.